We could leave it there if we wanted, but this is the challenge. This is implementing the VIP method in real time. Hi there, Kelsey Toner here, the founder of Guest Focused Tour Business Coaching, where every day myself and our team of experienced tour business mentors help you build a thriving, profitable tour business. In this video, we're going to be looking at tour operator marketing funnels using the VIP marketing method across the 5 stages of travel. In this video, we'll explore how you can build valuable content, how you can develop intimacy with your leads and maintain a pervasive presence, VIP, at every stage of the customer journey. We'll go through examples of how we can use this VIP framework for every step of your tour business marketing funnel. Let's start by breaking down Google's 5 stages of travel. The internet is so highly utilized for travel and tourism that Google spent essentially 2 years researching the travel experience. What they found that almost all of us go through these 5 stages of travel, starting with dreaming, then planning, then booking, then experiencing, and ultimately sharing. And they also highlighted that it's best to think of this as more of a cyclical journey where we move on to our next travel experience instead of a linear one from start to finish. Now, for a tour, activity, or experience business like yours, this is essentially Google breaking down your marketing funnel. Or if you like to think of it in a slightly different way, the different stages of your customer's journey. This journey or funnel refers to the different steps that a customer goes through as they discover your destination, your brand and business, engage with your company, and ultimately become a customer or not. It's called a funnel because the top stages are very broad and there are lots of people in the dreaming phase, for example. Lots of us have the best of intentions, or we are dreaming about doing something that one day we may never ultimately do. And there are even fewer people who take some of those initial steps for planning, and even fewer who may ultimately book or make a purchase. Whenever a new prospect discovers your business, it's your job to move them down this marketing funnel until they ultimately become customers. Each of the different sales funnel stages requires you to have different marketing strategies and different messaging to meet your ideal target guests wherever they are at in the different stages of their buyer's journey. Now, if you have some background in marketing or you've seen these kinds of marketing funnels before, I would urge you to not get too caught up in terminology. The 5 stages of travel that Google has outlined is very similar to other marketing funnel frameworks. For example, the AIDA framework, which starts at the top with awareness, then interest, then desire, then action. As we go through each of the stages in the next section of the video, I'll simply call out how these line up with some of the other marketing funnels you may have been familiar with. All right, let's go through these 5 stages of the marketing funnel or the traveler journey one by one. The first is the dreaming stage, and this is equivalent to the awareness or interest in a marketing funnel. At this stage, travelers are just beginning to be inspired to take a trip in the first place. They might be seeing stunning photos or videos on the internet, on Instagram or on YouTube, or maybe they're hearing stories from recent friends and family who have traveled to some incredible destination. At this stage, emotions drive a lot of the decision making. In this stage, Google found that 67% of travelers are more likely to book with travel brands that provide relevant information about their destination. 65% of leisure travelers were inspired by online sources, such as travel review sites and social media. And 73% of travelers use social media for travel inspiration, with Instagram and Facebook being the most popular platforms. Next is the planning stage, which is equivalent to the desire or consideration phase. It is here when travelers start researching specific destinations, activities, accommodations, and transport. They compare options, they read reviews, and they're actively looking for recommendations. At this stage, there's a lot more rationale, with travelers and your ideal target guests really starting to assess what products and services might be a right fit for their needs, wants, and desires. Google research found that the average traveler visited 38 websites before booking, and 48% of travelers spend more than 1 week planning a trip, and 74% of travelers use multiple devices for travel planning, often switching between smartphones, tablets, and desktops. Your prospects now enter the booking stage, which is equivalent to the action or conversion phase. This is when travelers make their final decisions and complete their bookings. Now, your prospects at this point should have all the information they need to make a purchase. At this stage, your goal is to turn them into a customer. The ease of the booking process is crucial here, as well as a friction-free way for people to give you money to ultimately purchase from your business. It's crucial here to note the importance of mobile in today's travel landscape. As of 2023, well over 60% of travel-related searches are coming from mobile devices. This means that your marketing efforts really do need to be mobile optimized at every stage of this traveler journey. In Google's research, they found that 87% of travelers find the mobile booking experience frustrating due to poor website usability. 70% of travelers say the speed and ease of a booking process are crucial factors in their decision to book. And more than 50% of travelers abandon their bookings due to a complicated or lengthy booking process. As prospects become customers, they enter the experiencing stage, which is equivalent to the engagement or satisfaction phase. This is the lead up to and the actual experience or trip itself. The quality of the guest experience when they are with you obviously has a huge impact on post-trip behavior. There are lots of ways that you can be marketing, i.e. delivering value and building intimacy with your guests while they are with you on tour. To back this up with some of Google's findings, 70% of travelers update their social media accounts while they are on vacation. 63% of travelers reported using their smartphones to look up information and navigate during their trip. 56% of travelers post reviews and feedback during or immediately after their trip. And 45% of travelers book additional tours and activities once they're in their destination. Now we get to the sharing stage, which is equivalent to the advocacy and loyalty phase. After the trip or experience, we as human beings love sharing and talking about our experiences. Whether that's sharing stories with friends and family, leaving online reviews, or possibly sharing photos, videos, and other forms of media on social networks. Positive experiences here can reset that cycle for new potential customers. You can build brand advocates and build on your company's positive online reputation. To hit this home, Google found that 76% of travelers reported posting vacation photos to social networks. 49% of travelers say that they rely on reviews and recommendations from friends and family when planning their next trip, and 60% of travelers start researching their next trip online within 6 months of returning from their last one. So now we've got a little more clarity on the 5 stages of the customer journey or our marketing funnel. But take note that this marketing funnel is going to be the same for each of us, regardless of whether we're doing heli skiing in the beautiful British Columbia mountains or we're doing camel trekking in the Sahara Desert. But now we are going to take our VIP marketing method and we're going to show you the simplicity and elegance of how we can apply the VIP to each stage of travel. Let's take a look. For this demonstration of the VIP framework, let's use a fictional company called Vancouver Family Adventures. This is a tour operator focused on young families from across the USA and Canada that are visiting Vancouver. They offer family-friendly bike experiences, paddling adventures, and even a family-focused cooking class. Now, even though this example is about a day tour operator, keep in mind that this 5 stages of travel and how we apply the VIP marketing method is going to apply just as much to multi-day operators. So let's meet our ideal target guests at that dreaming phase. We're going to start and go VIP. Starting with V, how can we be valuable? Well, at this stage, I would recommend, just as a couple ideas, why not have some Instagram reels where we have videos showcasing some of the magical moments that you're creating for families with your bike rides, with our kayaking adventures and cooking classes. Maybe we have a blog post that's focused on 10 unforgettable family experiences in Vancouver. It's going to have vivid descriptions and photos that highlight what a safe and family-friendly destination Vancouver is. Now, what about intimacy? How can we create more intimacy with that content that we were just talking about? This is the I in the VIP. Well, for those Instagram reels, instead of just having them be videos, I would encourage you to find a way to have them hosted by some of your guides. Create that personal connection with your team. Maybe they could feature some of their personal stories about growing up in the city and some of their favorite things to do in each season. For that blog post about unforgettable family experiences, I would encourage you to write it from a first-person perspective. Ideally, have a large, prominent bio and highlight the authority, expertise, and background of whoever is creating it and associating them with your brand. All right, what about the final P, being pervasive? This is where we want to think about our content, and as a place to start, look for at least 2 to 3 ways that we can repurpose it and get it on what? On different mediums, on different platforms, wherever our ideal target guests are spending their time. So for this pervasiveness, we can repurpose those Instagram reels and also publish them to some of the other platforms that have shorts, like YouTube Shorts, TikToks, and Facebook Shorts to reach more potential audience. We can transform that blog post into a Facebook carousel ads that's targeting parents who are visiting Vancouver. Again, we're not creating that content from scratch. We are repurposing it and finding a new way to get it in front of our ideal target guests. I would also encourage you to publish this unforgettable family experiences for each season in Vancouver. Let's look at some local PR. Can we get that published in a local newspaper or online magazine? And I'm sure, of course, that your experiences are on that list. Notice here how we've applied that V, I, and P as a checklist for this phase. Okay, now let's repeat this process for the planning stage, going through the V, I, and P. How can we be valuable through our marketing at this stage? Well, let's have a free downloadable guide on the website, 10 budget-friendly family activities in Vancouver. As they're getting into planning and organizing and thinking about where they're going to be staying, we know that one of their pain points from our guest deep dive is, hey, we have a bit of a budget here. We're always looking to find low-cost things to have a great time while we're on our holidays. This could then be tied to a 3-part email series that's automated, and you can deliver some additional content. Some ideas, linking to an interactive web page. It's on your website, but think about creating a Google Map layer where you can highlight some of the best family-friendly parks or playgrounds in the city. Maybe that email series delivers a third and final piece of content about 5 tips to save over $500 on your next family holiday in Vancouver. We can, as we're thinking of other things we could do in this stage, keep in mind some of the traditional print media as well. A creative idea, maybe we could work with Airbnb property managers who are managing multiple Airbnbs for family-friendly homes, and we could have sort of printed company handouts that have VIP discounts for, let's say between 30 and 40 different properties that we know families are staying in when they're visiting the city. All right, how can we look at those pieces of valuable content and add a degree of intimacy? We could leave it there if we wanted, but this is the challenge. This is implementing the VIP method in real time. How can we add more intimacy, build trust and rapport with this same content during this phase? Well, we could personalize that 3-part email series, having come from a specific tour guide who shares their own experiences and tips for each activity. I love doing this in emails and framing it as, hey, these are the types of tips I would give to my own family, my own closest friends, if they were coming to the city with their families. That's a beautiful framing where we're not just giving information, but we're giving them insider information. We're giving them something that's really intimate to us and sharing it with them. I love the idea of creating short, informal video clips of your guides showcasing those different parks and playgrounds. What a simple thing to do, but just with some a smartphone, send out one of your charismatic guides and they can highlight, maybe share some tips. We can highlight some of the best things to do in and around that playground. That's really gonna help build that intimacy while they're here in this planning stage. We could include a personalized note from the company founder in those printed VIP handouts that we were going to have in the Airbnb homes that were focused on families. Having a nice section. We've got a nice picture of your warm face sharing why you care so deeply about hosting and creating incredible experiences for the family. And it might be a nice touching story included in there about how you had that experience when you traveled with your family and you want to give back and make sure that others can have that same type of magical experience that you did. All right, let's look at that pervasiveness. Here in that planning stage, just with these pieces of content, we're looking for 3 other ways we can get it out in front of more audience and expand our reach and impact. Okay, what if we converted those 5 tips to save $500 into a giveaway for joining your free Facebook group? Meaning, hey, you can get those 5 tips by jumping into our Facebook group where we're gonna do what? We're gonna create a community. That community could be called Planning Your Family Trip to Vancouver, Tips and Tricks. What we're doing here is we're creating another platform, a Facebook group where we can reach new audiences. We can deliver value, build community, conversation, and connection. Beautiful, beautiful implementation of pervasiveness. Here's a couple more ideas. We could create a YouTube playlist of short videos showcasing each of those parks and playgrounds. So we already have that video content on our website. Let's put it into a YouTube playlist and use search terms like family-friendly Vancouver parks so that you're showing up in those Google results now as a YouTube playlist. Just have some clever ideas to get more exposure for that same content. And finally, some paid remarketing campaigns that retargets some of the website and blog visitors, invites them to come back and check out your tours. All right, we're on to the booking stage. We're going to be doing the same thing again. Let's apply that VIP method. So here at this booking stage, they are on your website, ideally. So what do we need to have on there? Well, of course, we want family package deals with clear pricing about what's included and what's not. You want to have your flexible cancellation policy because we know that plans change with young families and young kids. Maybe we'd consider trip protection for giving extra flexibility as an extra service and as a way to boost your profits. We want a detailed, family-focused FAQ on every single one of those tour pages that goes through all the potential objections, concerns, and hesitations that those caring mothers and fathers may have. And of course, we want that booking software that's going to allow people to show real-time availability and offers multiple payment options, possibly including Google Pay, Apple Pay, credit card payment, etc. We want to make it as easy as possible. That's how we can deliver value at this stage. How can we have more intimacy? Well, let's have that video and written message from you as the founder right there on your About page. This is a great way to show that you care, to humanize that brand and remove that doubt of, hey, who are the people behind this business? Is this a real business? Having chat functionality on your tour sales pages is a great way to have that intimacy. Again, to showcase that we are real human beings and we care deeply about you here in this booking phase, and we're here to help whatever that question might be. Testimonials from other parents prominently displayed on these tour sales pages is a great way to have that intimacy, and ideally choose testimonials that are highlighting just how great your team, your staff, looked after them on their visit with you. And finally, that pervasiveness. Let's think about shopping cart abandonment series to re-engage visitors. A best practice is to even include, hey, here's a 10% incentive to come back. This pervasiveness is, hey, when they were in this booking phase, something may have come up. Life got in the way. These people got young kids. There's a good chance they're not going to complete that online booking. So how are we going to be pervasive? How are we going to show up and invite them back? Shopping cart abandonment is a great place to start. Have limited time promotions and special offers around holidays. Maybe we can share it by email, maybe post it in that Facebook group. I love this idea of offering a free ticket or gift certificate for members of that Planning Your Family Trip to Vancouver Facebook group. And if they comment or share on that particular post, then maybe they get entered into a draw and you can give them one ticket that encourages them to come back, and hopefully they'll bring the rest of their family. All right, we're on to that experiencing stage, and hopefully you're starting to feel the elegance and simplicity of this VIP marketing method in action. We want your guests to feel like a VIP, and by going through each letter, we're going to be able to do it here right in the experiencing phase. Well, how are we going to deliver value? Well, of course, you're going to have a great tour, amazing tour leaders, and wow and delight whenever we can. Some ideas for wowing, delighting. Maybe a surprise adventure pack for kids at the start of each tour that's not mentioned in that tour description. Maybe to include some stickers from Vancouver area and a Stanley Park. That's a beautiful park here in Vancouver. A family-friendly scavenger hunt that's just included that families can do after the tour. How do we build that intimacy? Well, tour guides should be encouraged to learn and use the children's names throughout the experience. We want that guide to be sticking around for 10, 15 minutes after the tour and pay them to do so. They're there to answer questions. And we also want an automated follow-up that might send your teams some of their favorite places to eat at a restaurant or some of the family-friendly restaurants. That'd be a really nice touch after the booking is completed. And by the way, when you're sending that out and you're saying, hey, here's some of the family-friendly restaurants, some of our favorite spots, it could be a handout at the end of the tour, but I would put it in that email, because in that same email, we can do what? We can also ask for that review. Other ideas, photo opportunities as we're going through the tour. Make sure you're taking pictures of those guides. Okay, what about that pervasiveness, the V, I, and P? Well, email sequence with a countdown to the trip and some preparation tips. We want to be showing up and perhaps delivering that via email, but maybe also delivering it via SMS or maybe even WhatsApp, depending on what part of the world you're in. A personalized welcome SMS on the day of the tour, a direct link like an easy Google or Apple Maps link so they can very easily navigate. These are great ways to show up across multiple channels and really help them at this experiencing phase. Now, I'm providing digital versions of that scavenger hunt via text message after the tour and then asking for that review. Just another great way to show up in another channel and leverage that principle of reciprocity. Okay, it's now after the experience. We're into that sharing stage. What are we going to do? We're going to apply the V, I, and P. How can we be valuable to our ideal target guests at this stage of that customer journey? Well, we can encourage real-time social media sharing after the tour with family-friendly tours or a specific hashtag if you want to start collecting some of those images and showcase them somewhere. Vancouver Family Fun might be a nice hashtag to use. And I would encourage you to offer a limited time discount right after that tour for booking additional family-friendly experiences. After all, we do have that cooking class. We do have other things. So why not offer them a discount right at the end of the tour, but in some of the follow-up with SMS and email. All right, how do we create intimacy at this stage? Well, you could create a shared Google Photos album if your guides are getting some nice candid photos or group shots, and send those out. What a beautiful way to have some of that intimacy. Send a personal thank you video message. This can be one that you just record, thanking them for their business, but also that those word of mouth referrals and recommendations are warmly welcomed, as it's one of your most important marketing channels. And think about the difference of just putting that in text versus having that be a video that you can just upload to the web. It could be a YouTube embed somewhere on your website, but just that nice personal video message the same message could be sent to every single family. Wow, what a nice way to have that warm, fuzzy feeling and a connection with your brand in this sharing phase. All right, about pervasive, ask for the review, as we mentioned, after the tour, via email, via SMS, user-generated content, where maybe we're encouraging people to share some of their best photos and tagging your business on whatever social channel that they happen to be using. We can create a Vancouver Family Hall of Fame. Might be a neat thing to do. It could be on Instagram, it could be on your website, where we have a gallery where we're featuring some of those best family photos shared with your hashtag, and we can promote this webpage across many of your different marketing channels. Hopefully going through a real-world example like that and showcasing how simple it is to apply that VIP method at each stage of the marketing funnel was helpful to you. Now, those were just meant to be examples. And in our coaching program, we have a more robust methodology for ensuring that you've got the V, I, and P checkmarked. And as we add complexity to our marketing, or we want to scale up and magnify our pervasiveness, instead of repurposing content just across 2 or 3 places, we can move into repurposing and sharing content across 5, 10, possibly 15 to 20 different places as well. But the key insight here is that the VIP marketing method that is optimized just for tour and activity businesses needs to be used at each stage of the marketing funnel. And we need to meet our ideal target guests where they are at. Their challenges, their needs, some of the things they're working through or struggling with or need help with are going to be different at each stage. And as long as you can combine this VIP method with each separate stage of the marketing funnel, you are absolutely going to crush this and have success. To take action, a great next step would be to map out your customer journey. I would encourage you to use these 5 stages of travel. I would encourage you to even use our VIP acronym and look at how you are delivering value at each stage presently. Are there areas where you could add some intimacy? Are there ways, I'm certain there are, that you could have some of that pervasiveness, where maybe we're doing something well, but we're really not magnifying that impact. And we could be showing up in 3, 4, or 5 new places just with some extra effort. In an upcoming training video, we're going to be diving deeper into each letter of that VIP method and give more guidance on how to generate ideas, how to plan a content calendar, and how to measure the success of your efforts. But for right now, in the comments down below, what was your biggest takeaway from this video? Is there a particular stage of the customer journey that you feel needs a little more attention from you and your marketing team? If you're interested in learning how you can apply this VIP marketing method and you want to get started ASAP, well then grab a free strategy call right now with one of our tour business coaches. It's a free 45-minute call where we'll help you implement this marketing method and you can see the results for yourself. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to subscribe or share this content with a friend or colleague, it would certainly mean the world to us. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.